when you vilify a certain type of person, what you're really telling the rest of society is you need to be a certain way, and that way is not this.
In the past few years, transgender issues have become a big topic of debate in America. Between the over 469 anti-LGBTQ+ bills presented so far this year, and states like Florida becoming national epicenters for these bills, the future is very uncertain for those affected. Owl Media sat down with people informed on and affected by the current political climate, including Harford Community College alumni and staff, to gain more insight. Former Owl Media editor Audrey Merkel shines light on what's happening to those affected.
You're seeing these things like trans children potentially getting taken out of their homes, stuff like that, trans children not able to transition, potentially not even being able to go out in public dressed as the gender that you present as, even as an adult.
Bip, a trans man who wishes to remain anonymous because his family is not aware of his identity, spoke out about how the political climate in Ohio has affected him.
It has caused a lot of paranoia, and has led to me considering drastic decisions such as, leaving the country, finding whatever way I can to sort of detach myself from the current government system I am in.
Naina Craven, a sociology professor at HCC, explains how these bills can affect non-LGBTQ people as well.
I am a cisgender heterosexual woman, so trans rights aren't going to affect my life as directly as they would a trans person, but there's ways that will affect me indirectly because I have a lot of trans friends and trans students and trans coworkers who I care very much about. It can affect my work because I am out as an ally at work and I do a lot of professional development and a lot of student service things around LGBTQ plus populations. There's a danger that if some of these legislation things that we're looking at go through, I could be seen as someone who's inappropriate to be around children. I know about the narrative with grooming.
Winter Nettles, a former HCC student, shares how she views the current political climate.
Are concerns based on things that aren't made in good faith. Like, there's a lot of disinfo. After the midterms, a lot of Republicans didn't do fantastically like they hoped, because I think it's going to mobilize people in favor of queer rights, and it's not going to mobilize as many people against it, I don't think.
Our government seems to be very manipulative and seem to leave out a lot of details with certain things, which I feel like can lead to that happening without people being aware of it.
Been hearing about new ones, trans state legislators being censured and being thrown out of state legislatures in the past 24 hours.
But then again, with such strong attention that people have had over these bills now, to have it become something that's spread out throughout the entire country, I feel like everyone's guards would be high up enough for, at the very least, people to bring attention to it.
I think the conversation needs to be reframed and people need to wake up to what's actually happening. Trans people are really being used as a pawn right now in a conversation that is being made to look like it's about trans people, and I personally don't think it really is. I think it's about misogyny more. Like, trans people don't matter to fascists. What matters to fascists is controlling people. And when you vilify a certain type of person, what you're really telling the rest of society is you need to be a certain way, and that way is not this.
People don't like this, but there used to be more media laws regulating lying or knowingly lying. Like the fact that Fox News got recently exposed for knowingly lying and then just paid a settlement to Dominion for what is virtually a drop in the bucket.
If you are trans and you're out, just continue to exist in your community and disprove these narratives, because it's going to be obvious to people around you that, okay, this person is just a person. They're not a predator. They're not trying to corrupt my children or anything. They're just doing their job, going home, playing video games, just doing the same things that everyone else does.
We can, of course, contact our senators, we can protest. What we really need to do is sort of try to encourage others to be more active, because we know how to do it. It's just we need to make ourselves and those with us feel like at least the more of us there are, the more effective it will be.